Tippy time my damies, Top Cat here and welcome back to the channel. With the advent of our Storm's Keep aspect, our Arc Titans have shot back into the meta. As when we cast our class ability, we're going to start getting those bolt charge stacks, and whilst perched behind it, we'll top those up consistently. Now usually our Arc Titans solve problems with their fists, but now we got a reason to use our guns. I still maintain the Rally Barricade is going to be the best barricade to pair with this aspect. And by equipping the Spark of Frequency, we can double the amount of stacks we earn. You're going to want to pair that with that flashover mod in the fourth column of the artifact. A standard bolt charge detonation hits for 14.5k, but with this mod we're going to be hitting for 55.5k for roughly triple damage. Now the Titan has a few class ability exotics to choose from, but there's no doubt the best for weapon damage is the Hazardous Propulsion. Its perk is Danger Close. So with weapon hits or final blows, we have a chance to load kinetic Exodus rockets. Then when we activate this class ability, it's going to fang out these loaded rockets. These hit for 28k per rocket, and with a max of 6 rockets, we're doing 173,000 damage. For a reference point, a lot of us have a Bipod Apex Predator rocket launcher. It hits for 73k per rocket at standard, so this is going to be a simple, free way to chuck out projectiles at our hostiles. Additionally, when damaging targets with Exodus rockets, this will temporarily increase our rocket damage. And yes, this does include those rocket assisted sidearms. After tagging mofos with an Exodus rocket, we get a bonus 10%, 2 gives us 17%, then 24, 30, 33%, and at that max value of 6 rockets, our rocket launchers and rocket assisted sidearms are going to be doing 35% more damage. It's going to be a great kit to run, particularly in Heresy, as we've got those anti-barrier sidearms. That Iron Banner's Tenacious will pop, as it's also got Chill Clip, so we can deal with anti-barriers, overloads, and unstops with one weapon. Additionally, the Call is a great option, as it has damage perks like One for All for slaying out mages, or Vorpal for something bigger. And in that letdown column, we've got Strategist, and this is going to give us a lot more rally barricade uptime. Now pick your favorite rocket launcher, or whatever's going to suit the activity you're in. I've been using the Braytech Osprey with MBS Bipod, so I got 15 rockets ready to chuck it at those bad dudes' faces. I'm kind of partial at Bipod when doing run and gun activities, as in a lot of cases explosive light or bait and switch just ain't practical. Now in things like dungeons and lost sectors, I'll actually often run double rocket sidearms, but in something like a GM, I'm going to fall back on the Monarch. It's one of the best stunners in game with built-in overload. That catalyst has unrelenting, so heals for us, and it's going to take full advantage of all those void perks we have in this season's artifact. Volatile Marksman is going to make our rapid final blows and precision hits grant us volatile rounds. With a bow, that's just 2 successive shots, and we've got volatile for 10 seconds. With Maligned Harvest, when rapidly applying volatile, it's going to cause our next instance of void weapon damage to create a weakening burst. So between the Monarch's natural purple fart cloud, volatile, and that weakening burst, things just detonate. We then add Void Flux. Our void weapons are going to apply further volatile to surrounding enemies. It's a real sexy combo, and still it's just half of it. This kit works really well against Taken, so we're going to take in full advantage rocking King's Vestige. So in defeating powerful Taken, it's going to load our weapon with Taken energy. The next time we fire this, it's going to launch 3 Taken rounds that disrupt and exhaust targets. Exhaust is similar to Sever, as it's going to reduce our enemy's damage output. We then double that up with Disruptive Spike, and essentially this pushes those levels even further. Now this kit works great against activities with lots of champs in them. So the last mod I wanted to talk about is Defibrillating Blast. When stunning a champion, this is going to grant us maximum stacks of that bolt charge, and when it triggers that arc bolt, it's going to both heal us and jolt combatants. This pairs perfectly with that flashover mod in the artifact, and with the rest of our fragments and abilities. I tend to run flashbang, but really use whatever you want, but this does have a quick cooldown, high tactical support, and can deal with unstops. Same again with my melee, I'm using the shoulder charge, I like this one for movement, but additionally, when we smack something in the face, it's going to send on that blinding explosion, stun that unstop, so I can slap him around in the face a little bit. And thirdly, I'm actually rocking the Fist of Havoc Super now. You can rock T-Crash for some great burst damage if you really want to, but I personally found that in run and gun, the Fist of Havoc has more versatility. It's a great panic pop if you want to deal with some mages or champs, and once again, particularly with those unstops, that Fist Slam blinds targets. Now we can't Titan if we don't have knockout. It gives us amplified on melee kills. This is going to start health regeneration, and it's going to step up our melee damage by 50%. We run Sparker Resistance, so while surrounded by combatants, we get a 25% damage resist to incoming damage. Third Fragment, you can swap this out for something else if you wish, but I like Sparker Vaults this season. It's quite often we use finishes to tap out those champions, and when we do finishes, we're going to be granted Amplified and stacks of Bolt Charge. Amplified got a buff this season, so this is now going to give us a 15% damage resist. This plays perfectly into topping it up, as you tend to have low health when you're going in for that finisher. In that same vein, I'm also rocking Proximity Ward on my Bum Towel. This gives us a 200 HP Void Overshield whilst performing a finisher, so tough during, tough out. My last fragment is Spark of Feedback, and taking melee damage, this is going to briefly increase our outgoing melee damage by a further 50%. Now feel free to pause here for all my mods, fragments and artifacts, but there will be a dim link in the description down below. Now I've covered several Arc Titan kits this season, and whilst they are all great, they all have their own little niches. I think this kit is great because it affords us lots of damage relatively cheaply. Its one downside is though, because it revolves around our weapon damage, you really do have to have the right toys to make this kit work wonders. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. What's your favourite rocket launcher or rocket sidearm? Make sure to thumb it if you dug it, sub if you're new, and as always, tippy time my damies, what a tie!